For today's assignment, you're going to need isometric paper, a pencil, an eraser, and a straight edge. There's a new assignment in OnCourse, and as you go through the assignment and through this video, please feel free to pause the video to do anything that you need to do. Remember, when you're in a Google document that's in OnCourse, sometimes you might need to zoom in. So let's zoom in and make this bigger. We are on part 3 of isometrics. You might remember that last time we were together, we drew an isometric. Okay, and we drew an isometric cube that looked like this. So we have the front view, the right view, the top view. We have a width, a height, and a depth. The next part of your assignment was to create a 6 by 6 by 6 cube. This is a 4 by 4 by 4, and then drill out a hole on the 3 sides and put that into the assignment. If you haven't turned that assignment in, please do, as it's going to be graded today. So going back to our assignment for today, we're going to take a look at the first page, okay? And last class, you drew some isometric cubes. You drew a 4 by 4 by 4. You drew a 6 by 6 by 6. And today, you're going to draw a 3 by 3 by 3 isometric cube. Okay, so think about that 3 by 3 by 3 isometric cube. I have some linking cubes that when you're in class, we'll be using. So we're not thinking about the actual unit like inches or centimeters or millimeters. Instead, we're just thinking about units. So we know this is 3 units across, so the width is 3 units. It's 3 units tall, so the height is 3 units. And the depth is 3 units. So now, picture that cube, which I think you could very easily draw. And we're going to add another cube on top of it. Okay, so now we have 2 linking cubes. And let's see what that means. Okay, so you'll see we have our 2 stacked linking cubes. And when we're drawing isometrics, we're thinking about the faces, not the individual cubes that are used to build them. Okay, so we know that 2 cubes were used to build this, but we only care about one front face. Okay, if you think about an outline around that, there's just one front face, there's one top face, and there's one right face. So if the width of one cube is 3 units, what's the width of 2 cubes? Pause the video and see if you can come up with an answer. Okay, so they have the same width. 1 cube and 2 cubes that are stacked together. So your width is going to be 3. In your file, under number 3, for your width, type in the 3. Let's talk next about our height. Okay, so our height, to build this, it took 2 cubes. We know that each cube is 3 units tall. So our height is going to be 6. And finally, the depth, that's the distance from the front to the back of the cube or the stack, is 3. So you're going to fill this file in with 3, 6, 3. Okay, the next page gives you step-by-step instructions for drawing the stack, and I'm going to draw it here with you. Okay, so we're taking our isometric paper. We can use the same paper that we used last time. And we're going to start near the top, but not all the way at the top. Because remember, we need to show the front, the top, and the right. So I'm going to choose a dot right here, or an intersection, and draw my dot. Okay, my width is 3 units. So following this diagonal, I'm going to come over 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to use a ruler or a straight edge to connect the dots. Okay, do you remember what the height was? The height is 6. So starting from that first dot, I'm coming down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I'm doing the same thing on that second dot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. and I'll connect the dots. Notice that in real life, these two lines are parallel, and they're also parallel in isometric world. Okay, let's connect the dots to show the height of our stack. And now let's take a look at it because we're going to draw the top. For the top, we know that the width is still 3 units, and we know the depth is 3 units. So, following this diagonal, we're going to come back 1, 2, 3. We'll do the same thing with the second dot we drew. 1, 2, 3. And then we'll connect the dots. And we'll connect the dots here as well. Now I have my front face and my top. Notice I'm not labeling them with words. Don't worry, we're going to label them with colors in a little bit. So, taking a look at the right side of my object, I know the depth is 3 and the height is, you're right, 6. So let's come down from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And again, connect the dots. Feel free to pause the video anytime you need to. Okay, at this point, you have completed your isometric of this stack. So go back to the document, and on page 4, you'll notice with number 7, you're going to take a picture of your isometric and place it in this box. So take a moment to do that, pause the video, and once you have your picture inserted, you can unpause and we'll return. Okay, so let's keep moving on. So instead of labeling the front, the top, and the right, we're going to do some shading. And these are the shading conventions we're going to use. We're going to shade in the front dark with pencil, or if you'd like to use a dark color marker or something, you may. You're going to shade in the right lightly or with a light color, and you're not going to perform any shading for the top view. Remember, shading should only take a few seconds. When you're done with your shading, you're going to place your shaded sketch in this box. So let's move back to the document camera. Okay, I'm going to grab a pencil, and for this, a regular pencil that doesn't have a really sharp point works well. Just going to kind of rotate it because it'll make it easier for me to shade. Okay, my front I'm going to shade dark, so I'm going to press down hard on my pencil, and I'm going to shade that in. Notice I'm staying inside the lines, but I'm not shading perfectly. Okay, if I get outside of the lines, I can certainly use my eraser. So that's the front. I'm not going to do anything to the top, but I'm going to shade in the right lightly. So to do that, I'm going to just press down lightly on my pencil and shade that in. Notice I'm not coloring this in perfectly, I'm just shading it. I should definitely see a difference between my dark and my light. If you go too dark here, use your eraser. If you go too light here, shade it in a little bit more. When you're done with that sketch, take a picture of it and place it in this document. Okay, under number 8. Let's scroll down to the next page. Okay, on the next page, this is your turn. Whoops, I went a little too far. This is your turn. So instead of drawing a stack of 2, you're going to draw a stack of 3. Can you tell which dimension is going to change with height or depth? Okay, think about it. Your width is your distance from left to right. Your height is your distance from top to bottom. And your depth is your distance from front to back. So coming back to your document, you're going to fill in your width, your height, and your depth. I'll give you a hint. 2 of these dimensions are the same as they were in our 2 cube stack. 1 is different. And I'll give you a hint. It's the middle one. It's bigger. So draw this isometric, perform your shading, and then take a picture of it and place it in this box. Please remember that anything that you take a picture of, any sketches, any items, you should take in a well-lit room. Your picture should be a high quality, and you'll need to crop it so that you remove all the extra outside stuff away from it. Don't forget your shading. And remember, after you crop, you're going to want to make your picture as large as you can to fit within the box so that it can be easily seen. At this point, you're going to stop. Okay, so we're going to say after page 5, it's a big stop. Okay, so we're going to stop here, and we're going to continue on with the last couple slides next class. If you still have time remaining in class, I'm going to remind you that typing was due at 7 a.m. this morning, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of you who did not complete your typing. So you want to take some time to catch up on any late typing. The marking period ends on January 27th, and your last typing assignment is due on January 24th. So you want to make sure you get that done on time. Notice for your next typing assignment, there's actually 2 of them. One is lessons 1 through 10 review, and the other is lessons 1 through 10 reinforcement. So please take some time today after you do your isometrics to work on your typing. Okay, have a fabulous class, and I will see you on Wednesday.